Hello and welcome to the Daily Gas for September 25th, 2025, called Anti-Knight ATH Jin Kitna by Philip Newman. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Anti-Knight, cells separated by a knight's move cannot contain the same digit. Palindrome, digits along a line must form a palindrome. So what does that mean? Well, if we take a look here, if this cell were a knight as in chess, it would move two cells in one direction and one cell in an orthogonal direction, so shares an edge. So 2 then 1. We could also do 2 then 1 like this, or 2 then 1 like this. All 8 combinations of 2 cell then 1 cell yields these 8 cells here. So this cell, if it was a 2, for example, it would say that even though there is no Sudoku reason why any of these can be 2, right? If this was a 2 in the center, they cannot be that by the knight's move. Then we have our palindromes. So palindromes are words that read the same forwards and backwards, like race car. That's the classic example. A shorter one, madame, right? Or pop, right? Very, very simple palindromes. Well, in this case, we're doing that, but with numbers. So if this is a 1 here on this end, this would need to be a 1 here on this end. And that way, when you read it from this direction, it starts and ends with 1, so you wouldn't be able to tell which direction I was reading it from. And for example, here with these smaller ones, it's just saying that these will have the same digit. So if this is, let's say these were both 2, since I guess 2 is the number that I've chosen here, then this read this way is 2, 2, and this read this way is 2, 2. So do you really know which direction? Anyways, with that, those are the rules. Let's just jump right into it. All right, well, we have a lot of digits on palindromes, so let's actually start by placing all of them. This will be 1, this will be 2. 3 places 3, 4 places 4, 5 places 5, 6 places 6, and 7, 8 gets placed there. And actually, I think this will be like a, unless I've missed something, I think this will be like a properly rotationally symmetric puzzle, not with our favorite X windmill symmetry, but we have opposite pairs that sum to 9, so that's a, maybe XI windmill with 9 in the center, where opposite pairs of 9s are just, we'll ignore that those sum to 18. Let's see. Knight has to come into this somewhere. Oh, well, I guess before we even do Knight Sudoku, let's think about something like this. We have a pair of 2s that stare across here. So either this cell or this cell needs to be 2. But if this is a 2, then this would also need to be a 2 by palindrome, which places a 2 in the corner. We can do the exact same thing with the 7s over here. 6, it sees this by knight's move, but then it doesn't really help from there, so that's not where we want to look. 8, well, 8 is interesting, actually. 8 sees all of these cells and this cell by anti-knight, but we can also do it this way, where 8 sees this and this. So the only place for 8 is here. This 8 sees all of these digits, and of course this 8 does the rest. Same thing here with the 1. 1 will place 1 here. 8 have options. Oops, 8 has options, so I'm not too attached one way or another. Well, 5 actually can do something similar, right? 5 sees all of these cells and these cells, so it has to be here or here. Well, if you place 5 here, it would also have to go here by palindrome, which means it must go there, and I'm fairly certain we can do the same logic with the 4. 4 then, can 4 go here? For a few reasons, no. Knight's move and Sudoku would break it because of the palindrome, so you end up with 4 down here, which places 4 here. 5 does the same thing. 5 will end up here, which also places it over here. Actually, it looks like we're coming up on the close for 5s, because 5 can't go here, here, or here, so this will be 5 here, and that should give us 5 there, and that should also give us 5 here. So that is all of our 5s, which means 4s should do, theoretically, the same thing. 4 can't go either of these places, or this place, or This place, yeah, so this will be 4, and now the double 4 gives us 4 and gives us 4. Let's jump back to 1s for a second here. 1 could be double 1, could be double 1 here. 2s. Oh, 2s are very isolated. I didn't even realize that. Well, interesting thing with knight's move, right? None of these can be 2, and this also can't be 2, and this can't be 2. So there we go. We can place a 2 here, and 2 here actually gives us 2 here. So we're able to take a 2, which normally wouldn't really be able to do much, and propagate 2s down the line, which means 7s theoretically should have something similar going on. Yep, we can propagate the 7 down here and here. Can we do better with 2 is the next question. I think the answer is no, because 2 could go here or here. 2 can't go here, can't go here, so 2 would go in one of these 2 cells, and this just pushes 2 there, and this just pushes 2 there, so nothing to see here. Move along, move along. 3 now actually is placeable here, because before it was in one of these 2 cells, just like the 6 was placeable in one of these 2 cells. Now we have 6 here. Just like the 2 was able to propagate down, can we propagate down the 3? It does not seem like it'll be as simple to do. Oh, well, this is interesting. 3, because it can't go here, it can't go there, and it can't go there by knight's move, and it can't go there by Sudoku, which actually gives you a pointing 3 between these 2 cells. Which this can't be 3, because then this would also be 3. So 3 would have to go between these 2 cells, which means that 3 goes between these 2 cells, and it can't go here because then it would place there. So that means this is 3, which sees this by knight's move, which means this is 3. Yeah, that makes sense. I hope so at least. Otherwise, I'll be very sad. The 6 will do the same thing there. I don't know if that was a little too much look ahead, but it kind of felt natural, right? Looking across the row where 3s could go. So I don't think that was too bad. 3 now in one of these 2 cells. And then, oh well, but look at this. 3, I'm not even realizing. 3 just immediately gets placed there. And 3 there is a 3 in the corner, which gives us 3 here, 6 there. It shouldn't be a double 3 in the corner. That's just, I deleted it accidentally. 3 and then 3 here, and then we'll get 6 here. So that should be our 6 is done and our 3 is done. Now what do we still need? 1, 8. We haven't placed any 9s, but that's okay. We can do those last. 8. 8 gives us 8. 1 gives us 1. Can we do better? Right? 8 gives us 8. Gives us 8. Gives us 8. Whoops. Gives us 8 and 8. And that gives us 8, right? Sorry, palindrome, of course. How could I forget? Did I miss any other palindromes? No, but we'll be able to do the same thing with the 1. So we'll get our 1s here, we'll get 1 here, we'll get 1 here, and finally 1 here. And what do we still need? 2s. 2s, 2s, 2s. 2 gives us 2, gives us 2. And also 7, of course, because that's our symmetrical pair. 2 here, and then 2 here. Then 7. 7 gives us 7 here, and here, and here, and here. And that should be everything, because now we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 places to place 9s. And we are done in 7 minutes and 9 seconds with Anti-Knight ATH Jin Kitna by Philip Newman. So, with that, hopefully you enjoyed, and thank you for watching.